Another episode of the Underground Runaround Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Ross, back again with my co host, Pav Danny, and our good friend with his terrible Eagles attire on, uh, hanging out down there, Mr. Keith. Francio, baby. Look at him. He's even spiced up his name tonight for you on the
Oh,
visual
absolutely.
platforms. So, Keith, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good,
I'm good.
good, good. How about you, Pav Daddy?
You know what?
Ooh.
I'm doing really good.
Care to
Us just,
you care to
yeah.
elaborate on that?
I'm
The way
just,
you answered,
you
I
know,
need
we might get to see some like halfway decent baseball next year. So
halfway decent, like
halfway decent.
as opposed to like not these. Like, are you saying we had some bad baseball? What?
Oh, it
I'm
was pretty
confused.
rough. It was pretty rough watching the
Oh, the
last.
Cubs? Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. The Cubs are
Specifically,
actually.
this dude just jumped straight into the
Well,
Cubs.
that's what I watch, right? You don't watch every game, right?
100%.
You,
I get it.
but yeah, yeah. Like, and they're making moves. They appear to still be on the table for a few more moves. So
Yeah, I think while we're talking about the Cubs, I guess that's how we're coming out of the gate here. Um, I believe they said they had like 54 million left before they hit the luxury. And then that's even with like the 23 or 24 million of Hayward's dead money. So next year you get all that back.
Yeah.
So you get to make another signing next year, like another
yeah,
significant signing just for free essentially, or you can just figure out something else to do with that money.
yeah, we'll talk about all that
Um
because that's got a lot with Cody Bellinger. We'll talk about all that fun stuff.
yeah, he could be a new yeah, I mean there's options.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on with that, but before we get into that, guys, we've been hyping it up all week that we had a special guest this week. We're gonna have our first big league player. That will be rescheduled. So the gentleman that we were going to have on the show, and we still intend on having on the show, he actually offered to reschedule with us. Um, he was signed yesterday, last night. So he signed a 2-year deal last night. I sent him a congratulations message. He liked it, and then this morning he told me on the day of the show, he's like, just hey, shoot me a message in the morning, make sure everything's good. Like, hey, dude, I'm like, if I don't know, I don't remember exactly what I said, but something along the lines of if things changed or if you got to go do what you got to do because of your new contract, no worries. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm real sorry. He's like, Raincheck, he seemed genuinely apologetic, which was really cool, like just a very cool thing. So, the team has booked him a flight to go get his physical and all of that. So hopefully we have him on the show soon. I didn't we didn't want to talk about it, but at the same time as the show, we got to promote it. But we don't want to. I don't want to hype things up, especially if things like this happen, especially in the middle of the off season when it's cooking, when it's absolutely cooking. Because when we had talked about doing the show, he's like, "Hey, get a hold of me after this date," which was early November sometime. He's like, and then we'll schedule it. So I mean, he kind of knew, he kind of had a plan too. Like, hey, this is what I think or whatever he had going on. It is what it is. But we're gonna get him on a show soon. He's a big card guy. I can't wait. It's so
his
cool.
value shot up.
Oh
Like
yeah,
this past year, shot up quick.
he had a great
So like,
year. He's
I
a fun
mean,
dude to watch play baseball too. So we're talking about Matt Strom. I'm just gonna stop beating around the
uh,
bush here. Super nice guy. He's got the amazing head of hair, and he's a left-handed reliever that just comes in and throws some smoke and gets the job done. And he's a JUCO guy like me, so that's super cool too. So, and he's into cards and all of that. So, lots of cool stuff there. Hopefully, we get him on the show soon. And he got a really great deal with the Phillies, 2-year deal, 15 million, I believe. I mean,
yeah,
that's beyond respectable for any
yeah,
reliever.
yeah,
I mean, that's an
yeah.
amazing deal. So the Phillies
Especially
need
like
arms too. I mean,
you
it's a
know,
great fit there. The Phillies offense is fucking loaded. Whew. I mean, so there's a lot to like with that signing. It fits a need for them. He increases, in the salary department. It's fantastic, for him and his family. It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. So, I told him good luck at the dock when we rescheduled. I'm like, I hate the dock. He's like, me too. So he's a dude. He's just another guy like us. It seems like. So, I'm super pumped for that. What else do we got though? Hobby stuff. In hobby news, we had Stadium Club on Friday with Absolute Football. I've seen a lot of people really slow with the Absolute fills. I didn't do any. I didn't get any offered to me. It seemed like there wasn't much of it available. But we don't do a ton of football anyway, so it wasn't a big deal to me. Stadium Club was cool. One case I did was really bad. The other one was really good. I only did two. I shipped all the cards. It took me the weekend to sort them and pack them and all that. It's a ton of work. So, that stuff takes time and money and resources. And I don't have a lot of resources in terms of like help, like more hands. It's hard to find hands. So
Good
we're looking
soft
for
hands. Real
Oh
tough.
man, my hands used to be real tough too. They're soft now. They'll be all right though.
That's why you don't wear gloves. I got soft hands. Don't worry, guys. No gloves needed.
I didn't wear gloves when I had the rough hands. Be like, hey, I'm sorry, I actually never bought one. Here's the real story. I never bought a nail brush until I started breaking. So like when I would get home from work, and like the biggest thing I'd be doing in the shower is trying to get my hands clean enough to put them on camera. And like we're wearing gloves and welding and being in blast furnaces and shit like that. If you've never been in them or you don't know,
yeah.
industrial construction is nasty. So yeah, to come home and then hey, check out these cards I got.
The funny thing is, I didn't get a smudge on a fucking card till I sent it to PSA.
Ain't that the truth? That's the truth. Too.
Some motherfuckers eating a sandwich grading my cards.
That was a whole submission too. Was
Dude,
that like 2018, 2019,
A
something like that?
bunch of cards.
Every
A
what
bunch
was
of
it?
all chrome.
Lower
There's
left
best.
corner.
A bunch of best, yeah, and they're all PSA 10s.
Every one of them. A 10
they're all
with a
fucking 10s
fingerprint
with
on
a
them.
big old fingerprint. Like, what the fuck, man?
I've seen it from every company though. I've seen some because people say SGC is really good, and I'm not knocking them, but I've seen the SGC 10s that are not 10s, or the autos that are not 10s, or like if that's a 10, then why is it not with them?
Yeah.
It's just at the end of the day, all that stuff's subjective. Grading, all of it. I have no interest in someone else's opinion, but I do have an interest in making the most amount of money I can when there's those options to do so. So that's the big predicament. I don't care. I don't care what you think of this card. Like, is it nice? All right, cool.
The funny thing is,
it doesn't need to be a super ultra gem pristine mint plus fucking card from
with the sticker on the top.
Grading autos is so funny too, because you think, that's so many different autos, right? So like if you were a player, it'd just be kind of funny to start signing a bunch of different names, and then all your autos are like one-of-ones, right? They're all worth the same.
I don't know because at some point you can't do that. Like
Tops wouldn't let you. Look at Benny Montgomery. Benny Montgomery tried to have fun with it last year, and they wouldn't release.
He was
those
playing
cards.
around too much, though. I mean, for real, he was drawing like jet fighter planes. And
Imagine
shit.
that.
It's super cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the thing says Topps certified autograph issue. That's what the card says. So Topps is certifying the autograph, not the Picasso work. I get it. I do. I'm not saying that it's not not a buzzkill. I like to have fun. So maybe like for Topps Gallery, they should have threw them in Topps Gallery or something like that, because that would spice that product up, boy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I am. I said something to a guy on one of the groups the other day, and I wasn't doing it to be a dick, but he had a Wander, and it looked like an insert Wander auto number to 50 or 25, I believe, and it was out of Gallery. The guy's like, should I sell or hold? Everybody's putting their 2 cents in. I said, regardless of what you think it's gonna, what you think Wander's gonna do, I'm like, this is a a bottom 3 product in the license department, and in my opinion, the worst licensed product in existence. So take that how you will. But me, as I consider myself like a respectable buyer and seller of cards, I would never. Oh, and I also to be fair, I'm sorry, I forgot this part. This is very important. I also said that he has signed every single licensed product this year, or just about, from Series 1 forward. Wander's been in everything. So he has an oversaturation, especially with the demand slowing down. I mean, his demand started here, and all it's done is slowly go down. So it's not a knock on him. He's injured and all of that, but the Rays don't help. Even though they compete, they don't draw a big crowd. It's wild, you know. And it's a shit product, you know. I didn't say that in so many words, but that's what I said in so many words. It's just an ugly. Serious people aren't going to buy that, and because it's Wander, you're going to want serious money for it.
Yep.
So, like, don't think you're ever going to get what any other license number to 25 sells for in the Wander auto department, because it's not happening. But it's a great card, you know. That's the thing. But it's like, hey, just please temper your expectations. I don't want to shit all over it, but sometimes you have to do that just so they understand like where the real expectations should be. Yeah. And that's just my opinion. Anybody can tell me I'm wrong, but I think I'm right more than I'm wrong. So, as far as wax goes this week, Heritage High Number, which is another huge labor-intensive product. Not a fun rip. It's a great. I like the product though. I love Stadium Club too. They're fantastic products. I really do. I'm not just saying that. Stadium Club is the best photography in the game. No borders, none of that shit. Just full on cards. Heritage High Number though. I like Heritage. I dig it. That's what the when I think about set building, I think about Heritage. And then they sneak in badass autographs and duels, and they sneak in some really cool stuff, some sweet variations. It's few and far between. It's extremely rare, but they do throw some badass stuff in there. Those are both great personal rips. They're not fun breaks. They're not fun breaks to do. I like ripping anything though, so you know I like it. But when I'm here on camera ripping the product, I'm also trying to engage and interact with my audience, and if there's not a lot happening with the cards, then the audience isn't very engaged. So it's just not the best. You know, we'll do it and we'll have fun with it, but you know, there's better products. Like Bowman's Best, Topps Finest, Bowman Chrome, that format, that 2 mini box format, that's a great format for breaking. Yep. It's not just hits. You do like 30-minute, 40-minute breaks. You get to have a good time with everybody. Anybody who wants to participate is going to have a good time back. You get to see good action. It's a good constant flow of action, in my opinion. I think that's like the perfect thing. I don't like doing like 5 stars fun, or like tier 1 is fun, but they're too quick. Like you're like, oh hey, here we are. Hey, how you doing? All right, see you later. That's it. And then you got 12 people in the chat going, fucking skunked, pissed off, I'm out of here. Like, damn it, man. We all knew what we were doing when we bought into this product. I'm sorry, but that's the name of the game, and I understand the frustrations. But you get frustrated every time you have a bad break. I get frustrated 15 times every break I do from all the flack you get. But it's, you know, most people are just, you know, having fun. Honestly, there's not too many that really get pissed and, like, mean it.
No.
So that's always a good thing. But the one that does, it's like, hey, man, just chill. Like, you really do know what we're doing here, right? Like, you have somebody, like, I've had a few people get belligerent through the years. Like, damn. And something you just, like, sit back and you're, like, trying to understand, like, if it takes a while, like, oh, they're really being serious. Because it's hard to understand emotion, like, how to convey emotion through text. So, like, if you're reading someone's, like, text, you're like, I don't know how to take that. Then you like start to understand, like, oh, this guy is furious. Like, all
he's
right.
real mad.
Yeah. I'm sorry, sir, that you didn't have a good time tonight. That's where we're at here. Like, I had a guy obviously I'm not going to name drop anybody, but I'll never forget that dude's name. I had a guy legitimately like try to, and I'm sure every breaker out there's had it, try to like bully their way into like pre-claiming teams or pre-claiming spots just because they spend a lot of money. I had one of those guys really early on, and he spent a ton of money. I mean, it seemed like every break he was getting in, he was buying a third of it or better, like of the case. He was spending tons of money, but then when it would come down to it, and when you only get one opportunity to build your reputation, you like have to tell people no, and it's an uncomfortable thing to do, and it's a stupid thing to do, really, to turn business away. And that's why people who are really successful at business are pretty fucking shady, like especially in what we do here. I mean, what I do here, I'm not, there's some shady people out there, but I don't feel right about certain things. So he's like, hey, I want in the next random, I want these numbers. Like, these are my favorite numbers. I got to have these number spots. Like, no, dude, you still have to comment them when we make the post. Like, the same rules apply to everybody, dude. Like, I don't know you from him, and just because you spend a lot of money, I don't know how long you're going to be around, and it's not worth pissing people off, and it's not worth somebody fucking throwing my name in the mud or, throwing me under the bus because I gave Joe fucking Schmo the 2 numbers he had to have. Like, dude, it's their fucking numbers. Get over it.
Yep.
Like, you're not, like, why is that important to you? But, like, you'll lose business over that shit. But at the same time, it's like, I'm doing what's right. Who knows? It sucks. But I don't know how we got there. That's why this is the Underground Runaround Podcast. I am your host because I'm the king of doing that shit. For a guy who hates to talk, I'm really good at talking. And to go along with Heritage High Number this week, we have one of my more favorite unlicensed products in Donruss Optic. So Optic Baseball is finally coming out, and it kind of snuck up on us too because it's a summer release that we haven't had. But Optic always, I haven't watched any of it. I haven't opened any of it. I do have some cases. I will be posting some tomorrow on undergroundcasebreaks.com. Make sure you hit up the website somewhere around 10 a.m. Central Times, usually when I do my listings for the day or the morning to start. And we're going to have some Optic up there, so check it out. But Optic does a really good job of mixing in prospects too. Like, they don't have the license, so their top hits are never going to be top tier money, and the bottom hits are going to be nothing. And a lot of the serial numbered stuff isn't going to be worth a ton because of what it is. But the superstars are all going to sell well. The price point isn't going to be outrageous, and they do a really good job of mixing in the prospects from some of the organizations. So a lot more teams have a lot of opportunities to hit like a more of a top tier player than your traditional license format. So it's just a fun rip. It's a fun rip. It doesn't cost a ton of money. I like it. I enjoy it. I was disappointed it took long, and I'm glad that it's here. It usually has a couple hot boxes in a case too, which is something that isn't traditional with your other releases. And again, I haven't even looked at the checklist. I got to do pricing and stuff in the morning, but these are just historical things on it.
Optic's great for doing rainbows too, man.
Oh my
gosh.
It is. Yeah. You want to talk parallels? Yeah. If you're a legit collector, definitely something cool to do if you got a player. Like, if you got the player you like, and maybe he's not the most popular, so you can hopefully find his 101 or their more rare cards more easily, then you're in pretty good shape there too. But yeah, Optic's a blast. I like Donruss for what it is too, but it's not near as fun of a product as Optic. And the way the hobby is settling back down, I'm sure Optic's not going to be a ton of money per box. Like, I wonder what it even is on pre-sale. What are we looking at? You guys know?
I have no idea. I haven't looked.
I haven't either. Oh yeah, $125 from the big retailers. It's a fucking killer rip for $120, and that's full price. Am I sitting on an invoice? I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure it can't be much cheaper than that. That's a really low number, so that's gonna be a nice cheap break, and it's fun. It's fun. 2 autographs. Hell yeah. I don't have a whole lot to say about Bowman Chrome. We covered all of that for 2 weeks now. I did hear Bowman Draft is coming out in a few weeks. I haven't seen an order form, so I don't know. I'm nobody in the industry though, so don't take my word for it. Like I said, I don't know. I have heard though that it's coming out in 2 weeks. Don't know. No idea. What I do know is next week. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything this week because what do we have? It's the 7th. Tomorrow is 1-1 basketball. Is this accurate? 1-1 basketball already came out.
They actually released something early?
No. I must have been on last year's. Remember we were scrolling through the years earlier?
Yep.
No. So Bowman Chrome X. Oh yeah, Bowman Chrome X launched on Topps website today on online. Didn't that used to sell on StockX?
Yeah, StockX.
Yeah.
I know they've had it the last two years.
Yeah, that product like was made by StockX or something like that, or like something. It launched over there initially. So Stadium Club, the Bowman Chrome Mega Box. So the Bowman Chrome Mega Box is a thing. I haven't seen it, but it's on the list here. Bowman Platinum was on Topps today. I don't know if it's still available. Optic today, high number. The PFL MMA box set from Upper Deck. I didn't know they made PFL cards. That's pretty cool. That's a professional fighters league. It's like a lower level MMA, but still pro. They do $1 million tournaments. That's the draw though. They do $1 million tournament every year for every weight class in like a season form. So like the champ can still fight in the tournament and lose and like not, you know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, it says Bowman Draft First Edition on the 14th, but it says TBA, like it hasn't been announced. And then the reason we're all here and the reason I'm talking about it is next Wednesday, 2022 Topps Chrome Update Series Baseball.
Boom.
Your boy's going to have more cases of hobby format than you can shake a stick at. It'll be the most amount of cases I've ever had of any product ever on release day in the history of Underground. See, I can't even point the right fucking direction. Underground case breaks. I can't even do my own promo. I'm just terrible at this. But anyway, 2022 Topps Chrome Update. Underground's going to have it. We might do something huge.
That's going to come on a truck with a forklift.
Hey?
Right? Think about it. That's 20 boxes or 20 cases.
Hey, we got snacks out for the delivery drivers. We got them out there.
I saw
They're
that.
Gonna need it. I'm going to keep them hydrated. I'm going to keep them going. You know, get it up to the steps, baby. I'll take it up the steps. I'm working, man. I'm good with it. Everything they bring, I wish there was. I live on a corner, so it's not ideal for them to come to my back door because I got a gate and a driveway and there's like a tree, so it's bad for them to like have the truck like pull. Like it's easier for them to come to the front, and I understand it. But they bring it all up to the front. I got to carry it all the way through my house and then down my steps, whereas my steps are right at my back door. Like I could just walk in and go down. So as much stuff as they bring me, I gotta haul it through my. I gotta haul it around, all over Legos and toys. You know, it's nothing worse than carrying a 50-pound box and stepping on a Lego.
Oh,
terrible! Like you're like holding it on your shoulder and you can't really see around you anyway because you're like going through openings. Oh, it's a good time. I love it though. I love it. But yeah, I heard some folks on Twitter. I don't have a whole lot of sources. I'm sorry. You guys can go look on Twitter about Bowman Chrome X, but I think it was Cheap Fun Breaks. Actually, I think it was Cheap Fun Breaks was talking about. He might have been worried the print run is like super inflated this year. I think they added colors, and he stated what even the base cards were historically low serial numbered, and now they're much higher or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I usually shy away from it, but the last 2 years, Bowman Chrome's been a really good release at release time, so it's worth looking into if you're into it. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I think it's interesting, but I don't know how much the print run went up.
Yeah.
But yep, that's it. That's all I got for the hobby. We were planning a whole other show until after really early afternoon our time. He was on the West Coast, so I didn't want to message him too early to confirm the show this evening. But other than that, guys, that's probably going to be the end of the hobby discussion, unless you guys got anything you want to talk about hobby wise.
Nope. Just looking forward to January.
Anything grinding your gears with the hobby, Keith? No, you're good.
No.
Great. Fantastic. If you guys,
I can't. Yeah, you know what is grinding my gears?
Oh shit! Here we go. Let's do it.
I mean, let's be real here. So
let's be real here.
We all have our guy.
It's about
that
to
we
get
collect.
We collect. Oh, I do know. We're gonna lead us right into the next segment.
And
Fantastic.
I have my heart now broken because my hero stepped away.
More like your zero
And I have just an abundance
of
this man's
DeGrom
cards.
Russ baseball. Oh,
So much. And now, not only is he gone, but I am, 95% sure that his market will now tank because he's playing for Texas. So,
you got two true blue you got two Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers on your pitching staff. Now you can collect those guys. You can go buy Scherzer,
yeah,
PSA
but see,
10
the problem
rookie,
is
Verlander, PSA 10 rookie.
I wonder
Hall
where
of Fame.
Verlander rookies are now because they got up pretty high for a little bit.
they're him and Scherzer are both up there.
I didn't know where Scherzer's is, but I have a few Verlanders. Just I've always liked him.
Yeah. It's obviously way more than DeGrom. DeGrom at one point in 2019, end of 2019, when it was real big, cards got real big, his PSA 10 was selling for right around $600-700, and now it's back down to like 120.
So here's the thing, anyway, dude. As much as that sucks, I feel like it's almost better for the Mets. Yeah, you're gonna pay Verlander a ton of money, but Verlander is that fucking dude. Verlander's a dog. He's proven that he can still pitch as an old man. I feel like once you get to that 36, 37, if you're not falling off completely, like you can keep pitching. Like I feel like there's some sort, I don't know what it's some sort of divide. Some sort of genetical age. I'm not a doctor and I'm sounding really stupid talking right now, but I just think there's something there. Once you play into your late 30s and you're still performing, I feel like you're not just going to fall off a cliff. If you continue to regress, or if you do regress, it's not going to be right now. So it's a 2-year deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, 2 with the third option.
That's fantastic. He dominates for 2 more years. You pick the third year up as a no-brainer. Even with him being 57 years old, it doesn't matter. He said he wants to win 300 games too, right?
Yep.
Here's the other thing. Fucking DeGrom. How hard have I been on DeGrom in the past about fucking shutting down and getting right, or all this hell shit? I used to nag on him every time because he would pitch 3 innings and come out of the game, and he would pitch 4 scoreless innings and come out of the game. Pitch 5 scoreless innings, 3 scoreless innings, come out of the game. He's got no ERA. He's got this amazing. He's got 40-something innings of no runs, and it's like, dude, that dude pitches 3 innings a day, and then says his forearm hurts. Like, DeGrom's thrown harder every year he's gotten in the league. I don't know how the fuck that even happens, and at what point does he just blow up?
Yeah, because even this year he was still, like you said, he had that giant rest period.
Yeah,
and he came back and he pitched for a little while, and he still only threw 5, max 5, which is a problem.
Like like he's incredible. Like he's like what's that guy? Rich Harden, but on like Rich Harden times 6. Like Rich Harden would come in and pitch 5 innings every game and strike out 10 people when he was with the Athletics, and then the Cubs had him for a little bit, but he would throw 100 pitches in 5 innings. DeGrom just, I don't know. What's up, everybody? We got a lot of people in the audience right now. What's up, DeGrom to Braves? That's not true. Physical, got it. It's a high dollar. Alan, I don't know. Alan Gentry. Jake's heart's broken over the DeGrom stuff. I like DeGrom too, but it's like, man, maybe this is a blessing in disguise for the Mets people, I think. Because Verlander is a dog, and he's going to pitch every 5 days.
What else is he going to do, Brad? More importantly, he's bringing Kate Upton.
I was going to say, I think he's going to do Kate, but I don't like to talk about other people's old ladies. It's not really my style. We all know what he's going to do, Keith. We know what he's doing. All right?
Imagine you're sitting there and old Kate Upton walks up, sitting in section 103. There she is.
I'm probably at the game with my wife and looking the other way in absolute terror. Just no way. I don't want it. I'll be peeking though. I take a peek.
I guess it's good, but it just sucks. I've put so much time into these guys' cards.
No, I get it.
Like,
I get it. I lost my
One of
whole
those things.
I lost Rizzo.
Oh,
I lost Chris Bryant, and now I just lost Wilson to the fucking Cardinals.
that to me would drive me crazy. To
I
the
don't even.
Cardinals.
I just want to talk shit on them, and I feel wrong about doing that. But the Cardinals, no one else was offering you. He must hate the organization. I get it though, and then I get what he's saying. You know, if he's upset, I get it.
Yeah.
He said it when they started the big sell off that if they were gonna rebuild, he wanted to be there for the rebuild. So you build around me, I'll lead the squad.
Yep.
What's the problem with that? No, now we're gonna let him go to St. Louis where they're already gonna fucking win, and Wilson's just gonna be able to DH when he wants, and he's gonna stay healthy, and he's gonna be happy because he's playing with a bunch of Gold Glovers in St. Louis. Just makes me sick to my stomach. They're paying the dude like $17 million for 5 years, and he's only 30 years old. You're telling me you can't pay a catcher $17 million? Like, yeah, that's a lot of money for a catcher, but yeah, you got that kind of money to spend for a catcher. Like, yeah, I know he's not the world's greatest catcher. I don't know what fucking librarian Kinko's Pav Daddy's doing over there tonight on the show, but that's why we started the show half an hour late or 10 hours late or however late it was tonight, because Office Max over there just can't get it together, and they're having a tough time down there in the village with their
They're printing out a novel. It's a legitimate novel.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't know.
I'm
But
surprised
it looks
Pav doesn't have like a press though, like an old printing press. That's some Pav stuff. Yeah, I found it on the corner of the village.
I seen the thing that they washed their clothes with when I was
Yeah.
down there. You know, so
Washboard?
we were like, yeah. I seen the fucking where the stream opens up a little bit. They go right in there, dude. Bloop. Just washing clothes. It's wild. They're good at it. Tried and true techniques, man. Good, clean clothes. Smell great. They make their own soap.
Oh, goodness.
Have fiber internet. The village, ladies and gentlemen.
The village.
The
Has any
village.
move surprised you at all? Like other than, I mean, I think the Grom one was the most surprising to me, obviously as a Met fan, but I thought it was surprising as well, like pretty crazy. Everything else has been kind of predictable. Maybe Trey.
Yeah, I mean, not really, because Trey said he
Not-
wanted to go back east. He said
Yeah.
that. He said
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, good for him. The Phillies, man. Holy cow. The Phillies.
That offense is legitimate. Like,
Yeah.
I keep saying this, and I said this last year, the same thing, but that offense, like you look at that lineup, there's not really a weakness. Like, who's the weakness? Nick Castellanos.
No, Castellanos is gonna figure it out. He was
Oh,
so awesome. Pav's muted, but he's got a stiffy from the half year he played on the
Yeah.
Cubs. He was a fucking dog that year. He hit his way out of Detroit, just trashing them, talking about how shitty their field was. Then it comes to Chicago. He had like 50 something doubles that year. Just killed it. And the Cubs wouldn't sign him. I'm like, damn it, man. He was so happy to be in Chicago. Like, that dude was so happy to be in Chicago. Every time they reported on Castellanos, it was just something he was happy about. I'm like, damn, dude, this guy wants to be here, and you guys don't even want to offer him some money. You let Schwarber walk for $10 million, but you're gonna sign Bellinger to 17.5, and the dude's been dog shit for 2 years. Like, yeah, he fills some defensive needs, but you don't pay defense $17.5 million when you can't take Schwarber for 10 a couple of years. I don't understand the
Schwarber.
logic. Even if you're not competing, I don't understand how Schwarber was. No one understood how Schwarber was never worth $10 million. And then he went and snapped on that deal anyway. Worked his way into the big Philly deal. So, good for him. I don't know, man. Phillies went and spent money, but you have to remember, no Bryce Harper for a while.
That's right. What's it? At least All-Star break, right?
Yeah,
All-Star break
something
hitting,
like
and
that.
then, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just run through it. I pulled up a list. It's not like in order of the signings, but it is just every team and what they've done. So, Diamondbacks signed Miguel Castro. He was with the Yankees. 1 year, $3.5 million.
I like Castro. He was good for the Mets.
The Braves brought back Jesse Chavez on a $1.2 million deal. And they got Nick Anderson from Tampa Bay for cheap, $875,000. Kyle Gibson went and signed with Baltimore for $10 million, 1-year deal. He was with Phillies last year, but the Phillies have signed a starter as well.
Yeah.
Kenley Jansen was a surprise to me. I don't know what he got paid last year, but I feel like 2 years, $32 million is a lot.
It's way too much.
A
The
lot.
guy, I think he had like 40 saves last year, but he played for the Braves. And then he hasn't had, what was his last real good season where you're like, oh yeah, Kenley Jansen's a stud, like 2018,
I don't
right?
know.
Like
Yeah, between the heart issues and him not, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to him much this year. But like maybe 1 year 16, maybe I'm okay with that. But 2 years 32, ooh, that could be that could be dangerous. They also signed Chris Martin from the Dodgers, 2 years $17.5 million, and Rodriguez from the Mets. He took your guy Keith. Jolie, can't say his name.
Oh, Joely Rodriguez.
Yeah. I can't do that. That's why
I didn't even know he went there.
Yep, 1 year $2 million. The Cubs signed Jameson Taillon. I like it. I don't hate it.
I like Taillon. Yeah.
I don't hate anything that's 4 years $68 million. It's like $17 million a year.
Oh.
Pav still like
No,
unmute yourself.
I'm not muted.
About time.
Oh my
Welcome
goodness.
to the Underground Runaround, sir.
Hey,
This is episode 45. I'm your host, Brad Ross. You're my co-host, Pav Daddy.
How much better is Jameson Taillon versus Zach Eflin?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not prepared
Like
to have this discussion.
Right, Eflin got 3 years, $40 million, and he was 4.04 ERA, pitched 20 games, 13 starts, 3-5, 75. It's really fun.
Yeah, but what's
really weird year.
What's Stroman pitched last year?
Stroman or Taillon?
I know, but what did he pitch last year?
Stroman?
Yeah.
He had a rough year, dude.
Yeah. $24 million.
Yeah.
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 So I'm good. I'm good with Taillon.
Yeah. What I was saying
that's the
earlier,
comparison I have to make, I guess. That's all I'm saying.
You're almost
I like Stroman
20.
too, though, for what that's worth.
You got to tell Hendricks, like, hey, dude, you got to like fucking show up and be superstar, or you're just going to be out of the rotation. Because now you got 2 spots taken by Stroman and Taillon, and you got all them young pitchers that you're going to want to be fucking seeing. So I mean,
we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Hendricks is, I don't know. He's going to be your worst pitcher. He's going to be your worst fucking pitcher.
I should have skipped the Cubs, Keith. I should have skipped past them.
I'm just saying.
You shouldn't have said it.
Cody Bellinger. We're gonna get to the Cubs at the end. Pam's dying to talk about the Cubs.
But like, no, the Mets made the right move. The Mets made the right move, right? We have to if going and getting Verlander after losing. That's the thing, is like you lose the ground, but then you upgrade to Verlander. Whereas like you're a team that's ready to compete right now, so going to Verlander's the move. And then like you only got him locked for 2 years. So that's a lot of money coming off the books in 2 years that they'll be able to go retool with whatever they need to get at that point. Really, this market's kind of wild because like the pitching market wasn't that strong other than fucking Verlander and DeGrom and Rodon, right? And then the rest is like a big drop off. So it's an interesting market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then along with Taillon with the Cubs, they got Bellinger for 1 year, 17.5. I don't hate the number, and I don't hate the number because I don't hate 1 year deals.
I agree, 100%.
You can pay him. Yeah, you could pay the guy $40 million. It's 1 year. Who gives a shit?
And maybe he gets better, right? Falls in love with it. Hey, I'm guessing players remember that. They're like, "Who gave me that chance?" Right?
If he can hit,
gave him that chance.
If he can hit 250 again,
it's Jock Peterson, right? Jock Peterson.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to be an MVP again. He just needs to not be where he's at now.
Yeah.
Because you don't forget how to play defense, and he's one of those rare guys that went from a first baseman to being able. He had the raw speed and the ability to play center field, and the Cubs need a center fielder. So if he can play center field and hit 250, oh my goodness, that could be a monumental grab. I mean, you're talking about a former MVP. I mean, that's best case scenario too. Worst case scenario is he still hits a $180 and he gets fucking designated for assignment in the middle of June, and he's Angelton Simmons' failure contract on steroids. That's the flip side of the coin. But I'd like to think that he's gonna figure it out with the Cubs' new hitting coach, because it seems like every 2 weeks they're hiring a new hitting coach, and they say that they like the last one, and the one they got now they like even better. So maybe they figure something out with old Cody. I don't know. I don't hate it though. It's worth the
No,
shot.
I hope he does better.
Mike Clevenger, 1-year deal to the White Sox. So the Padres lose a starter, and Clevenger going to the White Sox. Luke Maile from Cleveland signs with the Reds on a $1.8 million deal. Here's the one, though, Pav. Pav, I want to hear your thoughts because we haven't talked about this at all. So the Cubs were linked to Jose Abreu early, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the Cubs wanted Jose Abreu, how come they didn't look at Josh Bell? Josh Bell got 2 years, $33 million with Cleveland.
He fucked up, dude. He needs to fire his agent.
Josh Bell?
Yeah.
Like how come we didn't?
He signed too early.
I don't know why he wasn't ever in the conversation. I don't know. Interesting.
That money's not right for him. That's really weird, ain't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems like I would have took that deal too if we could have got it. If you think you need a first baseman, I don't think you need a first baseman.
He just won a Silver Slugger.
I don't think you need it either, right? So none of it makes sense to me. But the Padres lose him now too to Cleveland. The Rockies signed Jose Urena. The Tigers signed Matt Boyd from Seattle, so Seattle lost a pitcher to Detroit. Abreu signed 3 years, $58.5 million.
Insane.
Houston, I think it's insane too. I think it's fucking nuts. And
really
they locked up their reliever Montero, 3 years, $34.5. I mean, they're paying that dude. But yeah, I think the Abreu one's wild. How old is he? Is he 38?
He's old. Yeah, he's pretty old.
Oh, he's only 35. But
That's pretty old for his size guy. We'll see.
He's getting old. But yeah, 2 years, that could be a good deal. Third year might be horrific. Just, you never know. He's a great ball player, though, as it is now. He didn't have any power, though. He's like doing the Votto. Not that Votto ever had a lot of power, or actually, I should say he's doing like the Miguel Cabrera, where he's still hitting for average, but the power, like Miggy has no pop anymore, but he still hits damn near 300. You know, like, I got no
Pure
problem
hitter,
with that.
he's great.
He's not like Albert Pujols, who just miraculously hit 20 fucking home runs in like a 4-week span at the age of 6 million. No, nothing suspicious about what Miggy's doing. Go Cubs, go. That's not bias either. That's weird. Whatever happened last year is weird, and I'm just going to say
I hope it comes out. I hope there's something that comes out.
Oh, you know what is coming out? And this is weird. Pav, we talked about this, and we talked about this being a possibility, and I briefly saw it, and now we got to look it up. Yeah. Sources, a physicist, a fucking physicist, 3 baseballs. 3 of them. He said based on all the data
where they used,
he's pretty convinced. No, I didn't read the article. That's why I said you guys got to tell me. Okay. I saw it in my sleep or something like that.
I got this because I've been fucking like.
Oh, I look at my.
They actually were reporting on it all day on the score. Okay.
Yes, let's hear about this. So yeah, 3 baseballs, folks. And we knew about 2 last year because they claimed supply chain issues.
So there was still 2 balls that the majority of games were in use in the majority of the games. There was a hot ball, there was a dead ball, and then there was a third ball they called the Goldilocks ball because it was just right. It was like in the middle. The Goldilocks ball, okay, it was in use in the playoff games in Yankee Stadium. And it's like, okay, so why, obviously there's something going on where you obviously knew that was the fucking ball. If that was the one you were using at all the playoff games, and you're sending them to the fucking Yankees.
What's the common link here?
Uh
The Houston fucking Astros.
it's pretty,
The Stros, dude.
the funny thing
Shout out to Kevin Eager.
is like when they ask Manfred about the shit, he claimed that there was no different balls this year, and they had fixed all that
I
shit.
hate Manfred. He's such
And
a
then
liar.
they asked about the possibility of another different ball, and no, and then all this shit comes out. I don't
Gives
know.
them the opportunity to come clean because they're like, listen, motherfuckers, we know, and we're giving you the option to be straight with us before we drop the bombshell on you. We already know the answer. We didn't know. You don't know that we don't know. Like you don't know that we know the answer. We're playing chess here. Like, you want to tell us? No.
They tested more balls this time than last time. So it was a bigger sample size, which I was actually surprised because the sample size was a lot smaller than I thought it would be. It was just over like 200. And you got to think like in a single game for each MLB game, they have something like 9 dozen balls prepared before the game starts.
Yeah, they changed the rules on that too, right?
So I mean, you 100 balls at each game, and they only tested like 200, a little bit over 200. So I found that a little bit small of a sample size, but it's just pretty interesting that all the Goldilocks balls were at fucking the playoffs and then the Yankees.
I don't know. I guess I just don't understand why that's so interesting.
So like
why wouldn't they just give them the fucking juice balls then if they were wanting them to have the balls?
So like if they had the juice balls, could you imagine?
Or how many other what was the frequency of the ball usage? Do we know? Like between the three, like was the dead ball being used at like a more, you know what I mean? Like is it actually affecting like? Is it to the point where it's actually affecting people's livelihoods in the realm of like, hey, this is not an even playing field for the athletes? Like, is that even a thought?
I don't think it.
Are we there yet?
Changes the game much.
Like,
right?
is it
the teams
like,
are using the same ball? The two teams involved in the game.
But listen. If the Yankees specifically have a better ball for every game they play in, the players on that team are at an advantage in free agent negotiations, in staying on a big league team, everything. Whereas, like a National League West fucking Diamondbacks or dog shit Rockies team, like the Rockies play in a friendly park, so that's a bad example. But the Diamondbacks, like, I'll give them the dead ball. They get fucking 10 viewers a game, or the White Sox, whatever you want to do. Like,
yeah.
Is it like, are they getting it? Like, first question, what's the difference between the best ball and the worst ball? And then second question is a terrible team consistently getting the bad ball? Like, could it really affect someone? Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Because it really could, man. Talk about like couple warning check flyouts, couple home runs you didn't get. I don't know.
That'll explain the 20 plus homers by the 40-year-old.
I mean, that's like, what's the difference?
It's the most common. That would be the
between that and actually knowing that you're getting a fastball. You don't need to know the location.
Yep.
I 1,000,000% would concede that Albert Pujols could absolutely demolish any fastball if he knew it was coming.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about anything else. You just literally have to see the ball at that point and let your fucking incredible machine-like abilities, as worn down as they are, eat. Just let them eat at that point. We know how to hit fastballs. We're Albert Pujols. When you can eliminate everything else. I can go touch velocity now. I'm not going to do well against it, but I could do it. But if you mixed other things, then you're going to make me look like an absolute buffoon. But I could probably take a respectable swing at high velocity. But if you throw me like anything else, might throw the bat, you know what I mean? break a vertebrae. It'd be bad. That's what I mean with the trade-off.
I wonder if it injures any pitcher's arms.
Is
So
the weight isn't any different though, right?
yes, the weight is
Oh,
100%
Oh,
different.
you're really, this is a dangerous, we're playing a
So
dangerous game now, dude.
okay, so
Is
here's
everyone
the thing.
blowing their arms out now because Manfred's back there fucking,
Okay,
ooh, man,
so
let's go. I just hate Manfred. Let's get him out of here.
the
I have
the
bias, I guess, so I don't get to pursue this, but
MLB rule, a baseball used in the major leagues needs to weigh from 5 to 5 1/4 ounces. Okay, and they're saying uh, the the juice ball weighs a gram and a half heavier than the Goldilocks ball, and then the Goldilocks ball is a gram heavier than the dead ball. So from the dead ball to the juice ball, 2.5 grams.
that's nothing though. I mean,
That's
Yeah,
what's an
absolutely
ounce?
nothing.
28 grams, you know?
I wonder. I
So,
wonder. So
so
like
then,
how? But when you're talking about that weight
so
in
you're
a
talking like
mathematical
a
equation,
14th of an ounce?
when you're talking about the travel distance of the ball, I
Sure,
wonder
no.
like on a 300-foot hit, how much does that add? Does it
Oh,
add 10 feet?
well, it's significant once you get out to hundreds of feet.
Yeah.
It's like when you build something square, if you're off, a
Right.
16th of an inch here, 20 feet down the road, you're gonna be in bad shape. You're gonna be crooked. Like, good luck. So, yeah, absolutely.
It's
That's
just
why we're
weird to
asking
lie
these
about it.
questions.
That's the weirdest part, right? Is why lie about it?
Right, and that's why
If
I
it's
don't
just
understand.
that small of a difference,
That's
why
why I
lie?
can't stand the guy, and that's why I don't. Anytime you see him do a press conference, my eyeballs just want to roll in the back of my skull and not come out. It's bad, man. You can't. Everything the dude says is a lie. How many times did they fake the fucking strike or the lockout? Rather, sorry,
Yep.
or fake canceling games? 2020, we're never playing more than 60 games. Comes out after they threw the fucking players under the bus the whole time over it. I mean, it's just terrible. It's gross. It's fucking gross. That dude is a slimy fucking worm. I can't stand that guy. And the worst part is my favorite baseball player of all time is like an advisor to him, or whatever Griffey's official title is. I love Griffey. He used to go on the yard and just, I was Ken Griffey Jr., you know what I mean? And now this guy deals with this slime ball, Manfred. The dude is just the most, it's just terrible. I'm done. I don't like, I hate the guy. I really do. I would be like the guy who wore the sell the team shirt in the picture with the Pirates owner, Bob Nutting. I would
Yeah.
be that guy if I ever met Manfred. Like, resign, or I would wear that shirt. Like, go away. I don't know what he's done good for baseball. I know I can name things bad he's done for baseball. A lot of things. Just a lot of lying. Why you gotta lie to people? What do you get out of lying to anyone? I don't know. I guess you get something out of it because they keep doing it. What else? What else do we know? Anything about the baseballs? Just the 3 baseballs?
That's
Yep.
it.
All right. We gotta find out more about that.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week, guys. Remember, if you ever want to know more about specific product releases or anything like that, any feedback you guys give us, we can consider looking into taking care of those things on the show for you. It helps us with stuff to do. So, if you want to know specifics on things we go over, you got to let us know. Or otherwise, we pretty much go into depth on whatever we want. Whatever we want might not necessarily be what you guys need to know or want to know. Moving down the old free agency pickups here. Tyler Anderson goes to the Angels. That was one of the earliest ones. He was a Dodger, 3 years, 39, so they're paying 13 mil. Not bad at all. Kershaw stays with the Dodgers on a 20-year deal. Shelby Miller signed with the Dodgers for $1.5 million. The Mets are blowing trumpets for the next 5 years. I hope that works. I really do. $102 million for Edwin Diaz. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of years. He's a dominating force still, and the trumpets are just the trumpets,
Amazing.
boy. Oh my goodness, the best things going in baseball. Verlander, we know the deal there. 86.7. Here's the best one though. So they lost Walker. They're replacing Walker with Jose Quintana. 2 years, $26 million for the guy who can't wash fucking dishes. Jose Quintana. He had a career year last year. I don't know if he builds off that or not.
I hope so.
For them, they just need the inning eater, dude.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
You got to think like a 3-game series, and you got to face Scherzer and fucking Verlander. You don't care about fucking.
I mean, we said that about DeGrom and Scherzer, and then
That's
DeGrom.
exactly what he said. I remember that podcast.
Yeah.
I remember him going, "Yo, well, you just throw those two out there. You have 2 wins automatic." Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Holy shit, that didn't happen.
Sorry, Jesus.
Ooh.
But
So-
DeGrom's not Scherzer or Verlander either.
Yeah, he's not the dog they are. Brad's right.
Yeah.
5 innings and stuff like that isn't going to do it.
I mean,
That's the thing is Scherzer and
he's a
Verlander
force, but
are
man,
workhorses that win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they want the ball.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really interesting. Like those two guys have fucking history together and all this shit. It's gonna be wild, dude.
Has there been any more on the Japanese pitcher?
No, but the Red Sox did sign a positional player today, though.
To the biggest pay like per year for a Japanese player.
It's
in
more
history,
than
right?
Suzuki, isn't it? Or it's real
Yeah.
close to what Suzuki got.
It's got to be more. They said it's more. This
Yeah,
is the
but
biggest.
Suzuki had the posting fee too that doesn't get tacked onto the salary. It was like $20 million they had to pay the team to sign him. So they had to pay an extra $5 or $6 million a year. It's like a lump sum or whatever. But Judge 9 years, $360 million to the Yankees after fucking John Heyman dropped the ball on that with the report that he signed with the Giants.
That was fucking weird, dude.
That was hilarious.
And like then they came out later and said he was on a plane to San Diego.
Yeah, the Padres.
So it wasn't even the fucking Giants.
The Padres offered more money.
10 years, 400 is what the report was.
Okay.
And then they said that he called the Yankees from the plane, said, "Give me 360," and they were like, "Okay."
Wow.
Rizzo, 2 years, $40 million. We knew about that. The Yankees did sign Tommy Kahnle from the Dodgers. 2 years, 11.5. Phillies, Turner, 11 years, $300 million.
What a deal, man!
He took less money than the Padres were offering.
What a fucking deal, dude!
Taijuan Walker, 4 years, $72 million to the Phillies. And then Matt Strahm, 2 years, $15 million. So they got a bullpen arm, a starter, and a shortstop.
They're
I
getting
mean-
their shit together, and it's pissing me off. Like,
I
they've
mean-
always been that team that you're like, yeah, it's
They-
fucking Phillies.
They
Dude,
already
the
have
NL East is going to be so crazy.
They already have like an $80 million outfield between Castellanos, Schwarber, and Harper. I mean,
Yep.
you don't get Harper to start the year, but man, they got real. Oh my God, that team is
so
insane.
good. Bohm can hit. They can
Tur-
all hit. Turner. Every
Tur-
one of them.
And Turner
has a bat.
steals bases too, and he
Yeah.
can get up. Oh my gosh.
Dude, they're so good. They're so good.
Oh man. The Pirates have actually done things, believe it or not.
Yeah, what? Got rid of people?
They're not. No, they've acquired 3 people and they spent over $1 million on all 3 of them. It's wild. First off, they picked up Carlos Santana, $6.7 million. They're all 1-year deals, by the way. There's nothing shocking there. But Santana's getting 6.7. Vince Velasquez from the White Sox is going to get 3.2, and Yarlene Garcia from the Giants is going to get 2.5. Padres signed Robert Suarez, 5 years, $46 million. Mariners, Trevor Gott to a $1.2 million deal. The Giants picked up Mitch Haniger after the Heyman debacle. Mitch Haniger, 3 years, $43.5 million. Jock Peterson accepted his qualifying offer of 19.7, so he'll be on a 1-year deal. The Cardinals signing Benedict Contreras to a 5-year, $87.5 million deal. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that. Moving on, Zach Eflin, to the Rays. So Philly loses the starter in Eflin, but picks up Taijuan Walker. And the Rays got Eflin 3 years for $40 million. It's a lot of money for the Rays, I guess. Anytime they spend money, it's significant. The Rangers, DeGrom, 5 years, $185 million for a piece of glass that throws fucking darts and ridiculous sliders. Andrew Haney from the Dodgers, 2 years, $25 million, and Martin Perez on a qualifying offer. The Nats signed Jeimer Candelario from the Tigers to a $5 million deal. That's all we got right now for free agency. There's still some big names out there, though.
Yeah.
Let's see who's left. We're going to pull up this list here. Correa is the best on the board, they're saying. Bogarts is second best. Nimmo third. Rodon is fourth. Swanson is fifth. And that's really all they're showing. Those are 5 pretty substantial names, though, still available.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's tons of... I always like when we get a little deeper into this, though. There's always, like, a ton of like under the radar guys that they don't talk about. Like there's always lots of useful signings that go unmentioned outside of like the local markets.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have anything quick up here handy to discuss what is left. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about what we know so far about this free agency?
I think it's a lot of money being thrown around. 360. That I was kind of blown away. I really thought that the Giants were going to pick him up. Even after that, I was like, oh, okay, they're still going to get him. And just talking with Yankee fans, oh, it was great. The moment he tweeted that out, I sent it to my buddy, and I was like, say bye to your boy. You know, got all cocky. I was like, haha, live in misery with me, you fuck. You know what I mean? and then, sure enough, like 2 minutes later, it's like, I may have jumped the gun. Or like he put out another tweet, and I was like, what the fuck you mean? Dude, I'm insulting this fucking Yankees fan. So that part kind of sucks. But the Judge thing was crazy.
I don't know if it's true, but I saw a picture because Heyman obviously deleted his tweet because he reported as arson Judge or whatever, like a moron. But Logan Webb had tweeted, "Not cool, dude," in response.
I saw that.
So I saw Kenny posting that everywhere today, cracking me up. The Giants
Poor
people,
Kenny.
The Giants people just must be in shambles today. Some of them are keeping a stiff upper lip, and they're going, we didn't want a 10-year deal anyway. You know,
bullshit.
They're playing their tough guy card. I get it, but yeah, calling bullshit too.
Yeah.
I think Trey Turner was the prize in this fucking free agent class. But I think he's your most consistent in the whole group. Like you know what you're getting with him.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Most consistent, but all these deals, like all these big deals, are going to run way outside of their primes. Like, it's nuts. Except for, the pitchers that aren't going to get longer deals. But like Judge, like to think that he's 30 now, right?
It's a scary fucking contract, but the Yankees can do that. They don't they don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So
right, they're the Yankees. All they got to do is say 27 rings, and they make a ton of revenue.
Well, now that he'll be Yankee for life, and
it's
his face forever.
They should have done it. I mean, they got to pay the guy. They should, but they could. They look like idiots now. They could have got him for a lot less.
This has been a
less
really
than a year ago.
Really nice offseason, though, like we were talking about earlier. Like the last few years have been so slow to develop. Like you're just waiting and waiting. And then like this one's just like boom, 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 big after. And like
we haven't even seen a big trade yet, right? So I like that. I mean,
No, they're
there's so much because like we were talking about, fucking Sean Murphy's is up on the block, so that's gonna be a trade that you're gonna see somebody move something quality for Murphy.
yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah, I can't wait. You guys got anything else? Got anything else for this week?
No.
The Cubs should sign Dansby Swanson. I think that's something we can agree on.
I agree wholeheartedly. Said that since the beginning. I don't want Correa. I don't. If it's
I
gonna
feel like
happen,
no one wants
gonna,
him.
It's gonna upset me. He needs to go back to Minnesota. And
I think everybody's scared to spend the money that they figure it's gonna take.
I don't want. I just don't want him because I don't think he's worth whatever the deal's gonna be, and B, go cheat somewhere else, dude.
That's one nice thing about the Turner deal that really kind of devalued Correa because Turner, it was surprising. I really think that like somebody offered him fucking 8 years and $300 million, and then fucking he's like, "Come on, man, I want to play in Philly," and they're like, "Well, if we stretch it out." Dude, he's gonna be making crazy money when he's 40, and like the likelihood that he's fucking even playing when he's 40 is pretty slim. There's not many guys that do that. But he's gonna be making so much fucking money.
0% chance.
It's gonna be so funny, dude. What's I have to look at the breakdown, but he should be getting over 20 million that year.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how that they structure it well for that team. They got a lot of money on the books already. So,
well, that's it. That's all I got, guys.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to UG Runaround Pod on Twitter. We'll let you know as soon as we know when we're rescheduling Mr. Strom. He's a big time card dude, if you guys don't know. So that's gonna be a super fun episode. We get to nerd out about cards and baseball. So that's what we do have planned. This was another episode of the Underground Runaround. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, if you guys have anything for us, reach out, let us know. Leave us some feedback wherever you consume the show. Reviews, ratings, comments, likes, shares, follows, all of that stuff. I hate telling you to do it, but that's what you're supposed to do. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Peace.